I love this visualizer. It's like putting on a pair of sweats. 100 subscribers. Damn. How did this happen? No, seriously, I used to post videos of attractive con girls and no one cared, but I ramble on about subgenres no one's even heard about, and I slowly start growing an audience. I don't even have a gimmick. I'm not even a video essayist. Hell, even I think I'm a windbag. Seriously, thanks for the comments and the support. It's made a dark time in my life less dark. Now, what to do for 100 subscribers? Hello and welcome to What's Up, Punks. Today we will not be looking at the myriad of subgenres underneath the umbrella of punk. So I was talking to Granddaddy Nihilus, as seen in his recreation, about this show, and he didn't really get it. See, he, like many other fine upstanding citizens, when they think punk, they think Sex Pistols, The Clash, Ramones, Dead Kennedys, Blink, Linkin Park, late night radio pirates getting that punk signal out. You know, punks. Unsurprising, as back in the day, he did hair on a punk shoot. And I do mean the day. Like, to get that mohawk strong, the model had to use sex jelly. Also, a friend of his was one of those aforementioned buccaneers of the airways. So he kinda thought I solely did music reviews. Not saying that I haven't, or that the punk genre hasn't inspired some lyrical magic. I spotlight a few myself. I think I got the point across as best I could, but he did give me a suggestion, a quick video for the old and uninitiated. So for 100 subscribers, what is punk genre? Punk as a word. When we're talking about subgenres such as cyberpunk, steampunk, or stitch punk, no joke, that's a real thing. I'm dead serious that I have enough material to go through to do this show for a long time. And maybe a college course about it. When we are using the suffix punk, we're using it in a nihilistic sense. It's used as an edgy descriptor. If Gibson and his peers like Philip K. Dix were around in the 90s, we might be calling it cyber extreme or steam extreme. From a less nihilistic viewpoint, my preferred viewpoint, the punk in the name isn't a descriptor or about the music, but the punk mindset. What is that mindset? Enjoyable nihilism. The world's right buggered and we're all fucked, so make love and party till you die. Be it the future with the most advanced tech your mind can think of. That's great, but people are still people and will make problems, usually large, disastrous problems. So make love and party till you die. The days of yore, however, are slightly altered, so we're fighting the Nazis and giant fighting robots. That's great, but there's still war around us, so make love and party till you die. Punk as a rejection. If you've watched my solar punk video, then you know where I'm going with this, but again, this video is for the uninitiated. The idea of cyberpunk came out of speculative, aka sci-fi writers at the time looking at what their peers were pumping out and realizing it was all just too clean. This was the late 70s, early 80s, we were knee deep in space babes and pill food. So things were not real enough. Alien is a good example of this. It's not something I'd count as a punk genre movie, though gun to my head, it's biopunk. Thank you so much, prequels. But pre-Alien, space was mostly depicted as the realm of Starfleet, a place for the best of the best. Post-Alien, space is just another workplace. You clock in, you clock out, hopefully an alien doesn't eat you between 9 and 5. The tech and the characters in the movie reflect that worldview. Space trucking must have insane overtime and hazard pay. Bridging this all back around to cyberpunk being the OG, the big daddy, its offshoots carry that rejection idea. Steampunk rejects that period piece can't have steam-powered war zeppelins, or that a period piece can't also take place in the 3020s, on the back of a ship the size of a country. Even the cheerier solar punk isn't immune to this punk as a rejection. In their case, rejecting that the wasteland, the sprawl, or any other dark future punk landscape is not our destiny, that this beautiful blue marble could still be saved. Personally, I think you're all a bunch of dirty hippies and bring on the go-go dancing razor girls and the sprawl. However, you're rebelling, and I'm always about the fight, even if against me. So, fight the power, reduce, reuse, recycle, and take your best shot, young blood. Finally, the ever-present rejection of norms or what society finds aesthetically pleasing or correct. Just because it's 2020 doesn't mean I can't walk around in a pinstripe suit and a handlebar mustache. Next night, be decked out in LED techno dreads and a shirt that has the Avengers Assemble scene on repeat. Punks of all walks took the idea of what was normal and nuclear into the back alley behind the bar and beat it to death with an old pipe. You're welcome. Punk as a backdrop. Some stories can only be told in a world where the boot is on your throat. Now that does not have to be a literal boot. The boot.
It's metaphorical!
Usually the boot is technology. In the form of cyberpunk, the boot has advanced so far that we live in a mega city. It's a setting where one can see the Vagrant AI coming into being. Vagrant AI is a term I picked up from .hack that I like more than the Singularity, all of which are just different terms for the same thing. An artificial intelligence, either through accident or purpose, is for all purposes human. Free will, emotions, the whole enchilada. And what that means for the world.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone.
In a world that's already been beaten down and has a punk mindset of fuck it, an untraditional entity like this would be more accepted. Leading to the larger questions, when does something start and stop being human? What delights and horrors can people inflict when they humanize or dehumanize something or someone? With cybernetics a Walgreens stop away, well, if you take a broom, you replace the handle and you later replace the brush, and you do that over and over again, is it still the same broom? Is a person still the same person if you replace all the parts over and over again? Now that example is largely confined to cyber or biopunk, but every punk genre is the landscape for its own stories and its own big questions, from what is perception to what is heroism. So that's what the punk genre is, various genres of speculative fiction that shares a common mindset of fuck it. Some branch off from one another, some come into their own, and they weave together and against each other. I'm the guy who deconstructs it, gives you its history, and then serves it all back to you in pill form. Bring us to punk examples. For context, here's some examples of the big two. Cyberpunk.
You're reading a magazine, you come across a full-page nude photo of a girl.
Is this testing whether I'm a replicant or a lesbian, Mr. Deckard?
Just answer the questions, please.
And steampunk.
Built to shield the rain, a street around the shelter formed, then a church, a house, a bar, and that is how the city of New Albion was born.
Alright, I've got it now. Ray?
Punk as a personal history. The secret origins of What's Up, Punks. Among being the steward of the new Chaos Theater, I'm a graphic designer, a storyteller, and as aforementioned, a cosplay photographer. Well, in the days of yore, even before my photog days, I was a simple fan. And my mecca was the SF Sony Metreon, the coolest place to ever spend your teenage years. If you were a PS2 fanboy, an otaku, and a punk, which I was.
Sometimes it's darkest just before dawn.
When I was older and I wanted to do a punk geekish photo shoot, I could think of no better place. Unfortunately, because of the almighty dollar, my pilgrimages had become less and less frequent. Target now owns it, and it's a sickly remnant of its former glory. And my very lovely model Julia, plug, and I had no idea. But we were there, so fuck it, photo shoot. It was probably my best and most well-received photo shoot on DA. But the shoot needed a name, and I could think of no better than Metreon Punk. And I eventually got this comment. My first thought was, wow, come on man, the shoot's cool, but this is clearly not cyberpunk or steam. But it stayed in my mind. Were there other kinds of punk out there? No. I would have run into that. Somewhere between drinking with knights in full plate armor to photographing wastelanders or chatting up Edna modes, I would have... Oh, I was so wrong. So wrong. So many kinds of punk genres. And they're weird and unknown and uncharted. And there's a punk genre about cowboys. Freaking cowboys. It's called cowpunk. I can't wait to research that. It's probably insane. It has dino mounts. Well, there's the diatribe. Before going my usual sign out, given the nature of this video, thanks again for the love. I got 4 planned videos this year, but taking December off to be with family, and January to work on some non-What's Up Punk projects. Probably back in February. Punk is dead. Long live punk.
You know it, you love it, here's the spiel, let's do it. Hit subscribe to be my subscriber. Hit the bell so you know when I've actually posted stuff. Still no idea why those two things are separate now, but whatever. And of course, hit like to appease the algorithm gods. All fear and praise. On a list of whatever YouTubes, I am also probably not going to get any ad revenue for these videos, so if you would be so kind, check out that Patreon and the GoFundMe. Links in the description.